kung papaano ako magsisimula sapagkat isang taon na yung nakakaraan. Natetempt po ako na i-play na lang yung opening statement ko last year because it's still timely, very timely. And I remember saying na panay hearing kami dito, and I remember saying na some people would think na hanggang hearing na lang kami. And that was last year. Ngayon parang pati ako nakukonvince na rin. Mr. Chairman, nung Monday po nag-deliver tayo ng privilege speech dito sa plenaryo ukol po sa usapin ng matinding pagbaha. Ang title nga nung privilege speech natin, Anli Baha. Kaya nagpapasalamat tayo kay Chairman Revilla sa pagpapatawag muli ng pagdinig nito. Sana po itong Anli hearings tungkol sa Anli Baha magkaroon na ng pangmatagalang solusyon. Dahil yung Anli hearings mahirap at masakit din po pakinggan, lalo na sa isang public servant who hails from the province of Bulacan na laging hinihingan ng resibo kung ano na yung nagawa or po pwede pang magawa doon sa aming lalawigan. Hindi po ako magtatagal sa aking opening statement. I'd rather hear the reports coming from different agencies of the government and perhaps ask questions. Tulad po ng mga nabanggit ng aking mga kasamahan at nabanggit natin dun sa privilege speech natin nitong nakaraang Lunes, nais po nating malaman yung mga sumusunod, no? Una, doon sa SONA ng ating Pangulo at report ng DPWH, 5,500 plus flood control projects ang natapos na. We wanted to find out kung nasan po ito at yun po ba kumpleto at integrated sa isang master plan, kasi kung hindi, baka baliwala. Ano ba yung real status ng flood management master plan? Pinakitaan po ako ni Senator Amy noong 1972 na meron pong Executive Presidential Decree number 18 na imagine po, nag-i-establish na ng Metropolitan Manila Flood Control and Drainage Council. And the chairman kanina made mention about the 1.14 trillion pesos na ginastos natin the past 10 years. Inaaral ho nating husto yung mga budget ng iba't ibang ahensya ng pamahalaan. Pagsamahin na natin ng DPWH, climate change, MMDA, DENR, etc. Tumataginting po na 1.44 billion pesos a day. 1,440 million a day na flood control project. I mean, gaano ho kaya kasakit ito pagka ikaw ay hanggang ngayon may tubig baha sa loob ng bahay mo, wala kang kuryente, pag magtitimpla ka ng kape, lulusong ka sa baha dahil bababa ka ng bahay mo. Naranasan ho namin ito, Your Honors, kaya hindi nyo pwedeng sabihin na wala akong karapatan. And hindi ko sinasabing mabigat yung naranasan namin dahil sa bahay namin sa Bukawi, mismo may baha po sa loob ng mismong bahay namin at sa labas po lampas tao na. Mr. Chairman, bakit ba napakalaki ng pondo na binibigay natin sa flood control kung hindi naman natin napag-aaralan pala? Because it appears parang hindi napag-aaralan. Now, if you look at the feasibility study, Mr. Chairman, gusto ko malaman, epektibo ba itong mga feasibility study na ito? Because this year alone, meron pong 23 billion na nakalaan for feasibility study dito lang po sa DPWH. Kailan po ba talaga magkakaroon ng clear-cut policy? Binabanggit nyo kanina, yung reclamation. I have nothing against reclamation, pero wala pa ho akong nakitang reclamation na effective. Siguro, I just need to be convinced na tama itong direksyon na ito. Dahil if you look at here in the Senate, kami ho sa Senado, meron po kaming group chat For the first time, naranasan ng Senado na halos hanggang baywang yung baha dito ho sa labas namin. And lahat ho kami nagtataka kasi parang first time ito, ang laki, ang taas ng tubig. And then you look at outside the Senate, wala na yung Manila Bay, Manila Sands na. Hindi ba parang common sense para sa amin, dahil hindi naman po kami eksperto, na sabihing may kinalaman yung reclamation dahil wala nang lusutan yung tubig eh. Kitang-kita ho dito eh. And at the same time, yan po yung dahilan kung bakit gusto ko rin sana, Mr. Chairman, ma-discuss yung status ng implementation ng Supreme Court mandamus ruling dito po sa Manila Bay. Nakasaad po doon na may 13 government agencies to clean up, rehabilitate, and preserve Manila Bay. Actually, nakalagay po doon and make it for swimming. Hindi ko alam kung alam ng mga justices ng Supreme Court yung definition ng swimming, may tubig. Dito po buhangin po yung nakikita. So paano magsuswimming sa buhangin? Kaya nais ko din pong alamin, Mr. Chairman, kung ito ba nangyayari sa atin ay katanggap-tanggap sa ating pamahalaan. Siguro importanteng maparating natin kay Juan de la Cruz na hindi rin tayo mapakali. Gaya nila, hindi rin tayo makatulog sa gabi. Gaya nila, nangangamba rin tayo anong meron bukas. Tataas pa ba ang baha? Sisirain ba nito yung mga gamit namin? May kikitain ba ako bukas? Meron ba akong gamot na kailangang inumin? Maleleptospirosis ba ako dito? Mr. Chairman, hindi po katanggap-tanggap. Hindi po katanggap-tanggap itong mga nangyayari. Lalo na masakit po pag ang sasabihin sa ating rason ay malakas kasi ang ulan. Marami kasi yung ulan. Meron po kasing basura. High tide po. At iba pa. Hindi po mababalik ng mga dahilang ito yung buhay ng ating mga kababayan na nalunod, na kuryente, namatay dahil sa bagyo, pati na po yung libu-libong halaga ng ari-arian nila, milyon, bilyon na winasak ng rumaragasang tubig baha, bagyo na ating naranasan. So again, Mr. Chairman, I would like to put on record my full cooperation and support kung ano man ang ating ano man ang kahihinatnan nitong hearing na ito, bagamat pangungunahan ko po kayong lahat, Mr. Chairman, and I don't think anyone can blame me how I'm feeling right now because taon-taon na lang po ito and it has worsened. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I expect a fruitful and meaningful discussion
Thank you.
in this particular issues. Thank you.
Preparing it.
So next year,
Honor.
this year yan.
Yes, it's
Okay.
now
And now it's
ongoing po.
2027,
It's ongoing.
Secretary.
So the timeline, it will take.
Wala naman ng pandemic siguro nang nangyari between last year and this year.
Well, I think the process lang po kasi, the process of doing the detailed in design for this type of mega projects takes time because we have to go on ground na po ito eh.
Sige, Secretary.
I just wanted to, sabi ni Senator Amy, tapos isisiro daw yung foreign assisted. So, hindi ko alam kung ano pa yung mapifeel natin, Secretary. Magkaibigan naman tayo, Secretary, and I know you share my sentiment, Secretary. I have been a senator for more than 6 years now, and I have to correct my colleagues here in the Senate at correct myself as well when I said the same thing over and over again because everyone na kinausap ko nitong nakaraang Karina, ang lahat nagsasabi mas worse. Yung dating hanggang bewang, lagpas tao na. Yung dating hindi binabaha, binabaha na. Hindi inaabot na bahay, binabaha na. So I don't know how else to say this, Mr. Chairman. Yung 5,500 pala na programs, projects na natapos na ipinagmalaki ng ating Pangulo noong SONA ay patsi-patsi lang. Hindi rin nakatulong tingin ko, Mr. Chairman, hindi nakatulong kasi patsi-patsi nga po eh. Sana ang hiling ko na lang po ay kahit na hindi po masisimulan next year, makita po natin talaga yung master plan para po meron ding confidence yung mga kababayan natin that it's really moving, Secretary. Kasi kung titingnan nyo po from last year tsaka this year, baka ho walang magsabing nag-improve talaga sa amin and I'm speaking from personal experience. So again, Secretary, and I mentioned this yesterday, I don't see anyone who can lead DPWH other than you. We trust you. We trust you since last year and the day you assumed office. And sana huwag nyo kaming biguin, Secretary.
Secretary.
I can assure you, Your Honor, that we will put priority on this project. I've just been handed actually the documentations on this project already, Your Honor, and this will be the basis for us to pursue this project.
Secretary, do you have any idea magkano ba ang kakailanganing pondo para hindi to maging patsi-patsi? Kung talagang poponda mo, for example, para masolve ang problema in Bulacan, for example, magkano ang pera ng gobyerno ang kailangang gastusin para masolve ang problema dyan sa baha? Do you have any idea?
On a project-to-project basis, siguro, Your Honor.
So talagang magpapatsi-patsi pag ganon.
I think, let's say,
Kasi
for
kung
example,
halimbawa,
for this project,
200 billion, 300 billion, ganon?
for this project alone, it will cost 130 billion
130 billion
Yes.
for that.
for this project alone.
Chairman? Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman, siguro just to manage then our expectations, Secretary, kasi parang nabanggit nyo, for the master plan, feasibility study, parang it takes one presidency to finish it.
Absolutely.
Tama po ba? And then it's the next presidency who will implement the project. So I guess babalik tayo, Mr. Chairman, dun sa konsepto ng continuity. Kasi meron din ho tayong maling ugali na tuwing nagpapalit ng Pangulo, nagpapalit din ng proyekto. So kaya nga parang lumalabas, paulit-ulit ho yung plano kasi tuwing nagpapalit ng Pangulo, nagpapalit din ng plano. Di ba ho? Kasi katulad nga na nabanggit ko kanina, noong 2013, meron na nga tayong master plan for flood management in Metro Manila. So hindi ho natin alam, nasunod ba ho tong plano na to? Because this plan would take 20 years.
To
So
implement.
siguro, natuloy ho ba tong plano na to? Or pagkatapos ho ba nung Pinoy presidency, nabago ho ba ang plano nung Duterte presidency up to ngayong Marcos presidency? Natuloy ho ba?
Your Honor, tuloy-tuloy po yung master plan for Metro Manila.
So ito ho na-i-implement.
Yes po.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Last, no? Feasibility study ako ho, Mr. Chairman, just share to the body. Nag-fund po ako ng feasibility study. It took them 2 years, Mr. Chairman. And I mentioned this last year also. 2 years po, alam din ni Secretary, it was not his term then. 2 years yung feasibility study. Nung nagawa po yung feasibility study, hindi rin po in-implement, Mr. Chairman. Tapos, noong pinag-usapan namin ni Secretary, I remember that day, Mr. Secretary, when we talk about it. And ang sabi, kulang-kulang yung feasibility study kaya hindi ma-implement dahil hindi din magiging integrated o wala ding impact. 2 years po yung hinintay ko nun, Mr. Chairman. Ako pa ho yung nag-push para mapondohan yon. Hindi din po in-implement dahil kulang. Sino yung nag-feasibility study? Sila. Sino yung nagsabing kulang? Sila din po. Sana, Secretary, makita natin itong ganito kasi kung 23 billion po yung feasibility study proposal for NEP this year, we wanted to find out, no? Kasi ang hirap po, no, Mr. Chairman, napakahirap talaga natanggapin eh. Yung 5,500 kunyari na programs, parang lumalabas, kaya natin ito ginawa dahil ito yung maliliit. Kaya patsi-patsi. Pero yung malalaki, sana, Secretary, magsalita din po kayo. Kasi yung malalaki hindi pinondohan. Siniro. Yun ang sabihin nyo sa buong Kongreso. Kaya maliliit yung ginagawa namin. Kaya sa totoo lang, wala ho talagang impact. Yun ho yung lumalabas, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Secretary.
Baka gusto mo sumagot.
Importance of being integrated doon sa mga plano at projects ng gobyerno sa flood control. Ang capacity po of one trash truck is 20 tons of garbage. And this early morning, I watched your interview, Secretary Bonoan, and when you said 70% of the internal drainage system of Metro Manila is already silted with waste. 23 years ago, at 23 years na po ang nakalipas mula nung naipasa itong Ecological Solid Waste Management Act. Siguro, may we ask our Secretary from DENR, after 23 years, at hindi naman buong 23 years nandyan po kayo, but being a well-known individual na concerned po dito, may we know, Madam Secretary, kung ano na po yung accomplishment natin as a nation, as a department ng DENR dito po sa ilalim ng batas na RA 9003 o yung Ecological Solid Waste Management. Kasi ang question talaga, bakit hanggang ngayon, up until now, no, it's a big problem itong basura.
Thank you for that question, Mr. Chair, Mr. Senator. If I may just give you first the initial question regarding how much of the budget for 2025 is for solid waste management. That figure is at 286,608,000.
That is the proposed for NEP. Meaning to say, Secretary, ito pong greening, pababaho ng pababa. From 2.3 billion in 23, 24, 1.2 B, ngayon 2025, mas mababa. Ngayon din po sa ecological waste management, from 334, pababa na naman po ng 286 million.
That would be the trend, Mr. Senator. And again, we are also cognizant of the fact that DBM has put a cap on our budget, and so we have to align relative to the priorities of the
So DBM
program.
feels that it's not a priority. Because it's going down. You said it's been the trend.
Mr.
We have
Senator,
talked about the past 3 years.
We are subject to everyone else's, every other department's condition wherein there is a limited fiscal space, and therefore we will need to operate within whatever has been allotted to us.
Or
by
maybe
the
DBM is saying there's already for 2024 1,440,000,000 budget for flood control anyways, but you are expected to perform and do your job in implementing ecological solid waste management, the greening program, etc., which I believe is very important, and our secretaries here and everyone perhaps in this room would agree that this is important. But anyway, may kanya-kanya po tayo talagang opinion. But again, I'd like to put my thoughts about this na pababa ng pababa, kaya yung baha pataas ng pataas.
Thank
Sige
you.
po, you can
Thank
answer my other questions, Mr.
Thank you very
Madam
much, Senator. I wish to echo your own sentiments, Mr. Senator and Mr. Chair. We believe at the Department of Environment and Natural Resources that our budget and our mandate really intersects with many of the priorities of the different departments and mandates. So where we are actually limited in what is being allotted to us, we work with other departments on what we are now calling the convergence budgeting system to see how we can align our resources and our efforts to achieve the goals under the Philippine Development Plan. And so, sir, I do not have the generational data to actually say where we are at this point. However, I will say, Mr. Chair, Mr. Senator, that as climate changes, society is also changing. And our population growth, as well as our behaviors towards our environment, are very key in the management of the life of our ecosystems, especially in terms of urbanization, wherein our trend in this country is coastal urbanization. Where we have coastal urbanization, we actually combine the different elements of climate and disaster risk as well as the opportunities that are also put in front of us because we have access to other natural resources which might not be available to only inland developments. And so when we look at a national land use law, for example, Mr. Chair, Mr. Senator, we actually have to look at our land use, what we call from ridge to reef. Everything that we do on land affects the ocean. Everything we do on the ocean and coastal areas will affect the way we'll be able to develop on land. And so the integrated approach to land use planning, I think is a prerequisite of a sustainable development agenda. Secondly, Mr. Chair, in terms of our behavior towards our own solid waste management, this is largely a behavioral and a social issue. It requires political will to actually begin to look at solid waste management as an industry that is required for sustainable development to actually happen.
Thank you for that, Secretary. And let me cut you for a while and perhaps point out the importance of the local government units implementing this particular law. I wonder, Madam Secretary, because it's so nice to hear the words interconnectivity, integration, etc. I wonder, what about your participation in monitoring, perhaps assessing, or evaluating the performance of local government units in, for example, if DILG would continue and they would be serious in filing charges sa mga LGU officials, sa LGUs na hindi nagpapatupad nito, malaki kaya yung na danyos o yung problema na naging problema natin sa baha, because si Secretary Bonoan nga made mention about it na 70% of internal drainage system ng Metro Manila imagine 70%. That's unbelievable. So there must be some sort of accountability from the LGU rin. Do you even push DILG to implement and enforce the law, monitor, assess their performance? Madam Secretary?
Yes, thank you for that question, Mr. Chair, Mr. Senator. Yes, the DNR actually provides technical assistance, capacity building, even equipment support. We have turned over very recently, for example, 11 backhoes to different LGUs in Metro Manila in order for them to actually work on their own dredging activities. We are here to support DILG and the LGU specifically in their own specific solid waste management plans. Meron po silang plano, sinasubmit po nila lahat yan into the National Solid Waste Management Council. So in terms of implementation, ito po yung papel ng DNR. Equipment support, technical capacity building, technical assistance. The final implementation po, of course, will be with the frontline element, which will be the LGU.
Kasi po, Madam Secretary, kaya ako nasabi yan, parang ang daming LGUs na na-awardan, Seal of Excellence, etc. Taon-taon, nakikita ko may mga malalaking tarpaulin pa ho Natatawa si dating Mayor JB Ayers ito. Ang dami ho Gusto nyo, picturean ko, tapos padadala ko din ho sa inyo. Pero kung nai-implement ba nila, baka din sa sinasabi ni Secretary na 70% na internal drainage system natin na puno ng basura, hindi nila na-implement. Pero ang daming tarpaulin na seal of good governance, etc. Mr. Chairman, let me go to another point that I'd like to raise on the issue of reclamation, Secretary. Ito pong Manila Bay natin, alam natin lahat, this is the famous Manila Bay. Kahit saan parte ng mundo, pinag-uusapan po ito. Our pride na Manila Bay, beautiful sunset, finest in the world, etc. I feel that it's our pride, no? Having studied abroad, going around different countries of the world, iba pride natin Tapos, Ngayon, pag tumitingin po tayo, and lagi ko ito nasasabi, may kurot na po sa puso pagka tumingin ka sa Manila Bay. Kasi, again, wala na eh. Parang yung Manila Sands, parang naging Suez Canal na tong Manila Bay eh. Dati ho may Battle of Manila Bay nung panahon ng labanan ng Amerika at Espanya. Pero ngayon, parang meron pa rin po na Battle of Manila